Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and I'm going to talk at your all today, okay? Because I shouldn't be this flustered by this, and I don't know why I am, but this all has to do with a video I posted yesterday on my TikTok. I made a semi-satirical, half-joking 90-second video where I pretty much said, hey, Bryson, it's day 11. It's time to make the shot. You're a professional golfer. You set yourself up with a 120-ish yard pitch shot. Like the longer this goes on, the less impressive it's going to be when you actually make it, right? I thought that was like a pretty fair and valid sentiment, and I'll explain why in a second. The video blew up for my standards. I know everybody has a different kind of guideline of what is blowing up on the internet. I think right now it's like at 90,000 views. I usually get sub 4,000, right? So for me, that's pretty good. But when I tell you the comments on this video are absurd, okay? I think it's like 99% negative towards me. Okay, you're an idiot. You're a moron. It's still impressive. Do you know how hard it is to hit a hole in one? I bet you're fun at parties. Wow, look at this negative Nancy. I bet this guy can't even make a 4-foot putt to save double bogey. Nobody said that. It'd be funny if they did. Nobody said that. And I just have never seen so many people pressed about what I think is a fairly logical sentiment to hold. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm assuming if you've watched this for a minute and 41 seconds, you know what I'm referring to, right? Bryson Dechambeau is at his house in Grapevine, Texas, and he is hitting a ball every day over his house, which is made of mostly glass, okay, onto a little green in his backyard. Now, here are a couple of details that I think are important in this conversation, which again, I recognize is pretty futile. Like this is really irrelevant in the grand scheme of the entire universe, right? This is not a big deal to talk about, and I'm going to yap on it for 5 minutes, so I apologize, but really I'm not sorry. Here's his house, okay? If you want me to be completely honest with you, I looked it up on Google Maps, okay? So the hole is about right here in this little like circle pit. This is when his house was being built, and then he's hitting it from about where these cars are, right? And I went so far as to use the Google Earth measuring feature, and I've clocked it between 89 and 120 yards. Guys, that's nothing, okay? If you play any amount of golf, and I'm talking like you can break 100, you realize that, for an average, I'm talking like a 10 to 15 handicap golfer, like I'm talking like average golfer who can go out and hit consistent shots and get in the 90s, 100-yard shot is not impressive. Okay, or should I say difficult? Okay, it's pretty easy to take your pitching wedge back and come through. Okay, for most people who have golfed, right? And I can understand why maybe for people who don't golf, you may think it's impressive. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is like the house concept, because a lot of people were talking about, what if he breaks a window? Guys, he's not going to break a window. He has a better chance of hitting a hole in one, teeing it up again, and hitting another hole in one, 2 in a row, than he does breaking a window. Professional golfers are not going to shank balls, okay? Like, let's just get that through our head. So I think part of it is this allure of, oh, wow, there's some danger here. There's some mystery. Is he going to hit it into his house? No, he's not going to hit it into his house. He's a professional golfer. What? Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, the second thing that probably frustrates me the most is, do you know how hard it is to hit a hole in one? Okay, yes. But my argument is the fact that he's no longer hitting a hole in one. This isn't him trying to hit a hole in one anymore. If he goes to the U.S. Open, which he won this year, and he steps onto a par 3, it's going to be 220, 180 to 240. Okay, that many yards. He's not going to have practice after practice. He's not going to be familiar necessarily with how the greens undulate. He's going to have to make an educated guess at what club. He's going to have to judge the wind. Like there are so many other factors, and he gets one try. Okay, that hole in one is impressive. Bryson DeChambeau is controlling all of the factors in this situation. Whereas in a normal hole-in-one situation, you don't have control over the factors. The only factor you have control over is that swing, baby. Okay? Bryson has control over where he's teeing off from, where he's putting the bat. He has control perfectly over the distance. You know why he's hitting them so close? If you go watch all his videos, he's hitting them all within feet, right? That's impressive, okay? But he's doing that because he knows how far, when he swings with that steady tempo, with that pitching wedge or whatever club he's using, how far it's going to go, right? Because this is his job. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying now? Okay, it's impressive. Like the thing that gets me is it's impressive to you because you cannot do it, which is very fair, right? But also, this to him is like LeBron James shooting layups, right? Like, it's not 100-yard pitch shot is nothing. If he hits, I would like to see him tee off from go to his neighbor's yard and hit 300-yard drive into the hole. Now we're talking. Now I'm watching the series, okay? I digress. The point is, the hole-in-one that he is eventually going to hit is not going to conceptually be a hole-in-one. It's going to be a hole in 65, a hole in 72, a hole in 181, right? That is the kind of thing that I think people are failing to understand and why I'm so pressed about it, okay? Now, here's the other thing. And this is the greatest analogy that I can come up for this situation, all right? People saying it's impressive if he hits it, it's a hole in one, yada, 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 okay? Here's the deal. If I go out to my mail today and I look down and I find a 4-leaf clover, that's impressive, okay? Because how often do you find a 4-leaf clover? Not very often. How often do you hit a hole in one? Not very often. Now, we can both agree on that, I would hope, okay? Let's say tomorrow I wake up and I say, I'm going to go outside, I'm going to look for a 4-leaf clover in my yard for 1 minute. I go out and I don't find it. And I say, tomorrow I'll look for 2 minutes. And then a week later, I'm looking for 7 minutes. And then 2 weeks later, I'm looking for 14 minutes. When I find the 4-leaf clover on the 26th day, and I've looked for almost a half an hour, you're going to say, it's not really impressive anymore because you set out, like, the allure of finding the 4-leaf clover is about, the mystery, the surprise, the rarity, right? And when Bryson hits it on the 26th day, he's going to hit it soon. He's going to hit it on day 12 to 15, right? Like, he's so close. Like, it's just luck at this point, which brings up the whole paradox, okay, of if Bryson hits this on day 1, 2, or 3, one, he doesn't make as much money. His views don't go up, right? Like, this is him being bad at this challenge is actually better for him because he's making more revenue from it, which is another paradox. Anyway, okay, this is full of paradoxes, but he hits it in the first 3 days. People are going to say it's luck, right? Oh, he just got lucky, right? But the longer it goes, the more it's lessening his skill. So on one hand, you don't want to hit it too early because then it's luck, but you don't want to hit it too late because then why is it taking a professional golfer so long to, right? He needed to hit it about day 6. Day 6, 7 is where I feel like, oh, we can respect like he's good, right? I am flat out yapping at this point. But I just this is catharsis in some respects because I'm actually shocked that so many people think this is and now I sound like a hater, right? But this is cool. That sounds rude. Like, that's the first time I've said something like, okay, that feels bad to say. It is cool, but when you think about the resources that Bryson has, the skills he has, like, anybody could do this if they were Bryson, I guess is what I'm saying. It doesn't make it unique. It just means that he has, I don't know. I don't know what I'm necessarily getting at with that piece, but I just think that the longer this goes on, the less impressive it is. And I would really like him to make it because a lot of people are trying it now and they're actually hurting their homes and they don't have the money probably that Bryson has to pay. Anyway, okay. So yeah. Whew. I'll probably just stay off TikTok for a while. I've just decided that people on TikTok, people on YouTube are less rude than people on TikTok, I guess is the moral of that story. Okay. Appreciate you guys. If this is your first video of mine, I'm sorry. You probably think I'm an absolute stick in the mud. I promise that's not what I'm trying to be. I just like to look at things objectively in a way where I can remove some of the like emotional bias in certain situations, and maybe that makes me a stick in the mud or a negative Nancy or a real fun guy at parties. Oh, imagine working with this guy. Well, I don't have a job, so you can't work with me, brother. We'll see you next time.